Hey team, got another Harley Davidson review coming to you. We're doing the new X500, which is a bit of an interesting story, but I think the first thing we need to do is just get on and then we'll tell you the story. This is the 500. There's also a 350 version, which arguably I actually think looks a little bit better, looks more like the old XL 1200, but let's go and have a play. Oh, that's a super light clutch. Oh, neutral's easy to find. That's very un-Harley Davidson like. My first impressions, it's quite tall and I'm very much on it as opposed to down in it, which, you know, I guess that's the nature of an upright bike. I think one of the cool things about this is going to be a competitive offering in something that is a kind of bike that I would recommend for a first bike, which is an upright. Harley Davidson have commissioned a Chinese company to build these bikes under license, so they get to use the name and the styling and all that sort of stuff, and these are only going to be available for the Australasian market, and that's only because of our LAM system. They're not going to be available anywhere else, because if you remember, there used to be the XR, what was it? I can't even remember what it is now, but the Street 500 and the Street 750. So the 750 was never LAMS approved because it was too much engine and power, whereas the 500 was, and it was the only LAMS bike that you could get that had the right badge on it. And now, so with this one, there's two options. There's the 350 and this one, the 500. Obviously for me, I wouldn't want to go a 350, be a bit too small. You know, horses for courses. These are $12,995 right away, so that's with your warranty and your rego and everything, so you know that's actually not too bad for a brand new 500 upright bike if you compare that to something like, I mean, you can't really compare it to an MT-03 or an MT-07 because it kind of sits in the middle in terms of power, but in terms of quality and styling and stuff, I'd actually say it's pretty up there. A lot of people on the internet these days are like, no, it's not made in America. It's like, my Harley wasn't made in America, but I mean, it's still what it is. And people forget that. I mean, like, a lot of the bikes these days aren't actually made in their country of business origin anyways, because manufacturing is just cheaper. The thing that you've got to look for is quality control, and I guess with a brand new machine like this that hasn't existed before, you've got to look at, you know, what are the other things around it that you can actually look at quality assurance with, because if it hasn't existed before, you don't know. So it's only going to be, and the proof will be in the pudding. Feels like a pretty solid little bike though. Like, nothing about this to me is screaming poor quality at all. In fact, quite the opposite. I'd say this actually feels quite high quality compared to some of the other bikes that are available. Being a little engine, it's a little bit sluggish off the line, but once you're off the line, the thing that's cool about this is you can be sitting at 100 kilometers an hour in top gear on the motorway or whatever and decide you want to pass someone, and it's just a roll in top gear, which is quite cool. Plenty of torque, so which is quite nice for New Zealand roads, because the amount of times where you're on a fun road and you get stuck behind someone and they'll let you pass, but you need the power to do it. A lot of the little LAMS bikes won't actually do that, especially if you're going up a hill. Some things I don't like at this stage is, again, the build quality for what you're paying is actually, I think, quite good. What I don't like, which is not uncommon, is the handlebars, and that's, you know, I think any bike that you've seen me ride that's one of these naked uprights, I always want to roll them forward and bring them up a little bit. But then also these grips are very, very like skinny. I'd want something a bit thicker because it's what I'm used to. Alright, be adults in the comments, you know what I meant. The more I ride this little bike, the more I'm actually quite enjoying it. Like, I'm not wanting for power, I'm not wanting for handling, I'm wanting for higher speed limits on the roads. Hey, 69. does have a nice little crackle and burble to it, like a burble tune. I know that some people don't like that, but I think it's kind of cool. It's not bad. It gets to 100 pretty easy, and then anything over that's a bit of an ask at that rev range. But then that was also into a headwind, up a hill. These little engines, those things matter. It's nice to be air cooled. That's nice for commuting. It doesn't feel too hot under the leg now that we're sitting here, and it is quite a warm day. But I'll find out some more info. I'll do a bit more digging, because these literally only got released to the New Zealand market today, and so I was very lucky to be the first person to be a bum on a seat, and so there is still a lot to learn. But my first impressions, great little bike, competitive in every way that it needs to be, ticks all the boxes that a Lamb's bike needs to tick, and ideal for someone who's a little bit taller as well, which I think is a good thing to have in their range, because you've got to remember there's the 350 as well, which is slightly smaller. I think having something that's a little bit bigger for someone who's a little bit taller like me is handy, because a lot of the bikes just don't fit taller people. Yeah, so that's been the Harley Davidson X500. Very much enjoyed. Thanks North Auckland Harley Davidson for letting me be the very first person to take this out for a test ride. And there are lots of little things I'm noticing as well. Like, I love how this whole rear end looks just like a Fat Bob. You get rid of this, make that a bit tidier, do a little plate there, change the bars out to something a little bit more aggressive, and that's really it. Oh, what are those tyres? Oh, Maxxis, yeah, cool. Now Mike has insisted that I take the 350 for a little hoon as well. Now I actually do think that the back end of this looks quite nice as well, and the tank is a lot more reminiscent of the older bikes, but oh, that's already a little bit smaller and a little bit lower. And I've just realised I've taken off with my sunnies in my pocket. So I've just learnt that you can actually change this gauge to an RPM. I've never seen that before. I wanted to see just how many Ks were on it, because I was on the time, and then it came up with an RPM. That's quite cool. I would have loved to have known what RPM I'm sitting at motorway speeds on the other one. There are a lot of distractions riding down Hurstmere Road down here in Takapuna, but Mike insisted that I just go around the block and try this, and I left my indicator on again. They are push to cancels. Oh, maybe I need to go get an ice cream. Good one, Audi drivers. I mean, it's definitely smaller for a smaller person that requires less torque to move their fat asses around. I don't think I've quite got time to boost this up the motorway, because I need to go take my bike for a warrant of fitness so that I can pay my extortionate registration, but you know. I do think this one looks cooler though. I think that, like, side on, I think this looks better, but it's different better, but it's better. And it's the right colour. Thanks for watching. We did run out of both memory card and battery because I was enjoying those bikes so much. Didn't expect that I was going to have a try on the little 350 as well, but that worked out really good. So thanks Mike, and thanks North Auckland Harley Davidson for making that possible. And if you are looking at learner bikes, go and have a look at some of our other content, because we've got some real good stuff around choosing a good bike for you, getting your basic handling and your skills and all that sort of thing. So maybe go check those out. And we've also got a lot of other reviews on other learner style bikes, and then a few other ones of course. But thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. I got lucky, I got my warrant for my bike today, and I managed to buy a cool set of saddlebags that was sitting on the wall. So keep an eye on the next moto vlog for a bit of an update on that. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon. Cheers, bye.